I've been a teacher for a long time. Of course, back in the old days, we used books, the blackboard, or the green board, and the basic technology that we had then, such as the tape recorders, the video, the television, overhead projector. I guess my favorite bit of equipment was my typewriter. I used that while I was a student as well, and I, of course, used to use it for all my tests and my notes. In 1996, my typewriter was replaced by a very beautiful computer. Well, of course, it isn't beautiful by today's standards, but it was something. And I, once again, used it to type all my documents. I used it for a bit of Excel. All in all, it was just a very glorified typewriter. Towards the end of 1997, I had internet at home, and I loved it. I mean, I used internet for email and for chatting. And so my use of technology was limited to the computer, the internet, email, chat, a bit of research, and this went on for many years. Then, at the end of 2004, beginning of 2005, I moved to a new school, and this school introduced what they called the notebook for books. All the students with their own laptops. The teacher also used a desktop that was fixed in the classroom. For this experience, I used, of course, the internet, mostly Google. I started using Google at this time. I used PowerPoint presentations to present the lessons to my students. We had the interactive board. This was my first experience with the interactive board. I loved it, but again, it was nothing else but a glorified blackboard. I didn't really know how to use it to the fullest. In 2007, I thought I was tech savvy enough, and I got a job as a division manager in an e-learning solutions company. And my duties entailed training teachers to use the interactive boards and to use the content, the e-learning content that the company was selling. The company also had a section known as the Knowledge Factory where they produced customized content. And this was my first experience preparing some e-learning content. I prepared a sample lesson for some government schools in Saudi. However, I didn't last long in the professional situation and soon went back to teaching. 2008. I took CEP 810, and it was as if I had walked into a magic land, into a parallel world. Everything was different, everything was magical. I still used email and chatting, but then there were things like Google Docs, like the Zoho, like Bloom's digital taxonomy. Everything was different. In fact, I was introduced to Web 2.0, and indeed I was a digital immigrant. I was in this brave new world where everything was just fantastic. Suddenly I realized that everything before CEP 810, every bit of technology I'd used quite wrong, because I treated them as the object. In fact, and I shared this with my professor, I took CEP 810 and I was going for the certificate just to say I knew how to use technology. I knew how to use technology in the classroom. It was something I was going to use to show off, but then I understood the difference between a tool and an object. And my classes were really livelier than ever because I now found a way to communicate with these digital natives who sat before me. I mean, there was the podcast, there were the wikis, blogs. Oh, students love blogs. I love them too. I started making digital movies. I used my digital camera to take pictures to use in my digital movies. And so, in fact, this has become a way of life. We have to develop with the technologies we have. We have to learn how to use them. It took me a long time to come to this conclusion. And the past 5 years have been the most important. They've played a great role in forming me, in helping me to understand how to use technology to make a difference. I am a digital immigrant in the digital world. Welcome to the real world.